Good morning, English 9. It's Mrs. Sopiarz-Rianda. I hope you guys all had a fantastic weekend and you are ready to get started on our next session in Unit 7. You can see the update right here is that we are going to be developing your ideas about theme, gathering some text, and outlining your essay this week. It's going to be a pretty busy week. So next week we're going to be working on the rough draft and doing some peer editing. So be sure that you are doing the work in these next two sessions in a timely manner so that you can get everything submitted and completed on time. So Unit 7, Session 3 is due by Sunday before midnight, the 13th, as always, right here. Also wanted to bring to your attention, well, you know what? I won't get ahead of myself. I'll just click on Materials, click on Unit 7, and then click on Exploring Transformation Session 3, which we are starting today, April 7th through the 13th. And as always, you start with your session plan. So like I mentioned, we're going to be examining some strategies for reading and creating arguments. And it's time to begin composing your own essay about common themes in literature. So this week you're going to be developing your ideas about theme, gathering text, and then outlining your essay. Next week, you're going to be writing your rough draft and doing some peer review. And then finally, you will submit your final draft by the end of next week. So it's going to be a pretty busy 2 weeks. So this week, work session is at 1 o'clock, as always. To click on that link if you have any questions that you need to have answered. Remember, if you have any questions, you could always contact me during the school day, and I am available for questions, help, anything you need, phone, text, or email. But if you want to get me live, you click on that link, and you can always, it's a question answer opportunity. Also, if you didn't do this last week, the first thing that you need to do this week is complete the Acuity C testing. Now, this is for all full-time JVA students, except if you are BOCE. If you're a BOCE student, then you are not required to take the Acuity C testing. But again, if you're a full-time JVA student, then you are required to take the Acuity C testing, all aspects of it, especially that writing part. It will be, you submit your you submit your test online, and I go in and grade it on that website. And once I do grade it, I'll come back into Schoology and mark participation grade for this assignment, so you don't have to submit anything into the Acuity C assignment here on Schoology. I'll do that. And then this is an extra credit opportunity for this week, April 9th, and it's at 5 o'clock, and it is the Cyberbullying Internet Safety Assembly. It's at the Ed Center in room 4E. So if you attend, it's open for parents, students, and staff. So if you attend, I am going to be giving extra credit for this event. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to write an essay or anything like that. They will be taking attendance at the assembly, so just make sure you get your name on the attendance list when you go, and you will receive extra credit for attending. Here's our list of assignments for this week and our suggested schedule for the week as well. So today, first thing you do is watch the weekly update video, complete that Acuity C testing, again, if you're a full-time JVA student, and then start looking through all the material in session 1 by clicking Next in the upper right-hand corner, navigating through the entire session in order. Complete and submit 7.22 important terms. Then on day 2 tomorrow, complete part 1 of the explication pre-writing. On Wednesday, do some research and obtain 3 pieces of literature, and then complete part 2 of that explication pre-writing. On day 4, work on your outline in part 3 of that document, and finally on day 5, submit it, and then you will be done with our session. So let me navigate you through this. There's a few things I do want to explain. So here you can see our essential questions, and these are the questions that you can think about of the how and why, what are we learning in this session. So that is our guiding learning this week. And here's that Acuity C testing. Again, if you have any questions, please contact me and I'm happy to help. Clicking next. Okay, so important terms. Before you begin thinking about the essay, you need to understand some important terms. And those two terms are theme and explication. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to this website and take a screenshot of the following two words, theme and explication, and be sure to, I'll do, for example, theme. And then I'm going to click on full screen. And it will give you all the connections for a particular word. I don't know why. Did I misspell it there? There we go. That's better. I think I misspelled it. So you want to do a screenshot of what comes up for you for those two terms. And so you can do this a couple of different ways. You can do a screenshot. So you do press print screen on your keyboard and then paste it into a document, or you can print the screen page and scan it, or you can take a picture of it with your phone and upload that. So any way that your computer or you feel comfortable with saving those screenshots, please save them, review them, look them over, because again, you're making those connections on what exactly theme and explication are, and then you're going to submit them here into the Dropbox. Next, we're going to start the theme explication paper. So you're going to be writing an essay these next 2 weeks explicating or basically explaining a common theme from 3 different types of literature. So in this session or in this unit, we've been reading poetry, dramatic dialogue. So we are looking at themes, or in poetry, so we're looking at themes in all different texts, different types of text or literature. Literature can have many recurring themes, including subjects such as love, friendship, revenge. In your years of schooling, you have read a novel in class or independently that has spoken to you. So chances are that the themes somehow apply to your life, and they usually do. If text or literature speaks to you, that means you're identifying with it, you're connecting with it. So begin thinking of that novel that you made that connection with some point in your academic or personal life. It'd be an excellent place to start with this essay. So you are going to be crafting a 5-paragraph essay explaining the connection of this theme. So now remember, there's a difference between subject and theme. Theme is what the author is inferring about a subject. So here's an example. Subject, friendship. Theme, what is the author inferring or suggesting about the idea of friendship? True friendship is hard to find and something that should be valued. Another example, the subject is money. It's not a theme, it's a subject. The theme is what the author is inferring about that in the literature. So money and greed can change people. Just one theme, but maybe in a piece of literature. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to think of 3 novels that you've read in your life and the themes that are present. You're going to open up this document right down here and complete part 1. You're going to save this document on your desktop or Google, wherever you save documents. You'll be using this document throughout the entire session, okay? But the first thing that you do is you fill out part 1, thinking about the 3 novels that you've read in your life and the themes that are present. Next, what you're going to do is choose one major piece of literature, a book. So choose a book that you've already read and understand the resounding theme. Next, you're going to begin research on the internet for 2 other forms of literature that have the same theme. So below are a list of appropriate forms of literature that you should be looking for that share that same theme. Step 3 is you're going to obtain a copy or excerpts of 3 pieces of literature with the same theme. So you're going to get your book and you're going to get the other 2 pieces of literature, again, from this form list. Begin reading and marking places that the theme shows itself in the text or an inference between the lines. And then finally, the last step is you're going to open your theme explication pre-writing that we just opened up and saved from the slide before, and you're going to complete part 2 of that document, and then you're going to save it and go on to the next slide. Here's the nitty-gritty. Now you have everything you need to begin outlining your theme explication essay. So follow this format below when outlining your 5-paragraph essay. Okay? So you're going to introduce your theme in the paragraph 1 and define the theme, introduce the 3 titles of literature you're going to be using, and develop a thesis explaining what the paper will be saying. So here's an example of a type of thesis that is appropriate for a theme explication essay. And then in body paragraphs 2, 3, and 4, you are going to focus each paragraph on different literature. So paragraph 2, thoroughly explain using at least 2 quotes from the text of your first form of literature. So if you have a book, a song, and a poem, and you're going to focus paragraph 2 on the book, then this would be the poem, and then this would be the song lyrics. Okay, so focus the text just from one piece of literature in each paragraph with 2 quotes, and then explain how those, think of Pia, how do those pieces of evidence, those quotes, explain your theme? Okay, so make your point, your evidence is the quotes, and then analyze how those quotes support the theme. And you're going to be doing that in paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. And then finally in paragraph 5, you're going to write your conclusion, summing up the importance of the theme and how it connects to the world and culture. Okay? And here's some references down here to help you with what a strong Whopper body paragraph looks like. So again, you're going to open up that theme explication pre-writing document, and you're going to complete part 3, which is the outline. And then you're going to submit that entire pre-writing assignment right here. And then you're done for the week. Next week, we're going to be submitting our essays into peer review and then submitting your final. If you have any questions about anything this week, it's a lot of work this week, so please let me know. I'm happy to help.